Jessie says hi. Hi, Jessie Bessie. All right. Sorry for that. Gonna wait just a few more minutes because I'm a little bit early today because I'm going on a little coffee date with one of my friends. So I'm gonna get this all taken care of. All done and dusted. That'll be nice. Hello, hello. Jessie and I were just playing and now she's like, excuse me, ma'am. We are not done here. Oh, it's a little darker today because I didn't move it. Maybe it'll be okay. We'll see. Hi. Right, so today you're going to need 3 colors. So 1 color for the stem, 1 color for the little petals here, and then 1 color for the insides. And you know what? Bear with me for a minute because I'm just going to move the table. It's too dark. So brace yourselves because I think that the screen's going to get a little bit shaky. Okay. Yeah, that's like much brighter. Okay, sorry. I'm very sorry. I forgot to move it. Okay, so for this one, we're going to start with the little petals. Then we'll add the stems, and then last we'll add these. And I'll show you how to do the French knot again. So you're going to take out a little bit of thread. Thread your needle. All 6 strands. Put a little knot on the end. Jessie's decided to chew her toy, so apologies. Apologies in advance. Let me just zoom in for a minute. That's probably good. And let's go. Let's get started. Right, so we're going to do 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and then 1 in the middle. And this is the detached chain stitch. So normally we would use them kind of all in a circle to make a big flower, or I use them for big floppy leaves like this. But for this one, we're just going to make 3 little petals. So you're going to go up and then come right back down next to it. Be careful not to go through your knot or you'll just cause yourself some problems. But also don't go through the same hole. You want to come down next to the hole that you just made so you see that. And there's just a little tiny thread between each one. And you're going to leave a loop, so don't pull it all the way. You're going to leave a loop like that. And you're going to come up at the tip of your petal and pull it through. So you should have a little loop with a string coming out of the middle like this. So you don't want to pull it too tight because 1, it starts to pucker the fabric. Do you see like that? And 2, it makes these really, really straight, jagged hoops, and you really don't want that either. So let's loosen that up. Get a nice loopy loop, and then you're going to put your needle down on the other side of that piece. So you're almost making a little stitch to keep the loop like a loop. So we're going to come back up here and do the other side. Now, some people like to do 1, 2, 3, like all in a row, but I like to do my last one so it kind of overlaps the other 2. So it looks like it's nice and in the front. There we go. And then we'll do the one in the middle. Again, Make sure to not go through your knot again. Again. There you go. So there's one little flower done, and then we're going to move right over here to the other one. Again, normally I would cut the string so that you don't have, we'll cut the thread, I should say, so you don't have the threads going over, but it's okay. And what cutting the thread on the making a knot and starting over, again, it just makes it so that you can't see this thread right here. Oh, dropped it. Put it back through the fabric like that, and then I'm going to flip it over and do a knot. Because those petals are finished. Yeah, they're really not that, they don't take very long. Like the other flower does genuinely take quite a long time because you have to make sure they're all, you know, together, etc., etc. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do just 3 strands. And for that, you're going to separate your thread. So I showed you before how to do it, and you can choose which way that you would like. So some people take each thread out one by one. So they'll pull it apart. Let me see if I can pull it. Like I said, I've been looking through the video. Sometimes it's hard to do it that way. So they'll take this thread, hold all the rest, and pull, and then you should get one thread out that way. But because we're gonna do three strands, I'm just gonna pull all 3 out at the same time. And I'm gonna do it with the Y. I know I started early today, Meg, sorry. Because I'm going out on a coffee date with one of my friends. I'm so excited. So you're gonna take it like a Y, sorry that took ages. 3 and 3, and I like to just untwist and put my thumb down. And when you start to get it like bunched up like that, you just need to untwist a little bit more. So I use all the rest of my fingers to kind of untwist. You can do it whichever way that you want. So all that does is that it keeps them a little bit more twisted, so you can tell they're already like starting to twist a little bit. It just makes it so you don't have to put 3 strands all together. But you can do it that way if you want. That's really not a big deal. Hello. Make a little knot on the end. And then we'll get started doing the same thing. So I'm actually going to start up here. I'm going to kind of tuck it under so it looks like it's coming from that flower, not like away from it. You know what I mean? So if we started it over here, then it wouldn't look like it was connected. So we want it to really be tucked up under there. And if you want to, you can even move this line over a little bit and put it all the way up in there. So I mean, make another little stitch from here up into there if you really feel like it. So this is just going to be a back stitch down the middle. Probably could have used more strands for this now that I'm looking at it, because it is quite thin, but that's okay. I used 6 strands for the flower, yeah, Meg. And Fariba says, where are you from? I am from Ohio in America, but I live in Birmingham, the UK, England. So you go all the way down to the bottom, and then we're going to do the same detached chain stitches that we did up here, down here. So we're just going to come up really close there, and then make our loop and make it a little bit longer. So what I mean by longer is that because these are like long and skinny ones, you're just going to make your, your loop a little bit longer. Yeah, okay. And we'll do the other side. Again, you don't want to pull too tightly because that will make them look like really straight up and down leaves, almost like a line, and then you won't have a loop. You want to have that nice round bit at the top. So this one is a little bit too straight. And then I'm just going to go down here. This one has a bit of a curve to it, which is fine, but so I actually might continue it up a little bit into the flower instead of like the drawing. And then I'm just going to move these little threads over the top of the green one so it looks like it kind of comes into it, like it's all one flower. And then again, 2 little guys here. The green is finished. All done. So flip her over, do yourself a little knot, and then we just need to do some French knots for the tops of these. So you can do 1 on each one, you can do 3, like 2 next to each other and then 1 on top. It's up to you. I did just think for a minute I would show you French knots a little bit easier. So I prepped this little bun, this little one, not bun, one. And I thought I would just show you some different strands, different thicknesses, so you can see what they look like. And I know I've done this before, but I actually can't. Yeah, I can't find where the thing is, so I'll just do it again. So what I mean is like a little sampler. So just to show you, if you do 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, whatever, 3 strands, 1 strand, 6 strands, they have different thicknesses. So they'll show you, give a bit of a different look to it. So the first day of the flower, we just did all 6 strands, 1 wrap, stuck it in, we're done. So today, because those flowers are a little bit easier and quicker than the other one, I thought I'd show a little bit more. So this is 3 strands, green thread. So to do the French knot, you go up, just like before, 1 wrap, and put it right back down. Sorry about Jessie. She decided to eat all her dinner from last night right now. So that's just 3 strands, 1 wrap. Yeah. Now if we go next to it, we can do 3 strands, and let's wrap it 2 times. just had an idea because I don't want to take this off, but I can put it up like this. So you can wrap it 2 times. So again, 3 strands, 2 times. 1, 2, and put it right back down next to it. And you're gonna pull it down so that the knot is all the way down, close to the fabric. You don't want it to be up here on your needle somewhere. Hold the thread again, and you pull it all the way through. And you notice it's a little bit bigger than that one. And then finally, 3 wraps. I would not go more than 3 wraps because it gets to look a bit like the knot doesn't sit nice and flat on the fabric. It gets a little bit like there's too many wraps and not enough to like hold it down flat, so the knot kind of like goes like that up over to the side. Hopefully that makes sense. So we have 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, and then down. You're gonna pull it down, not too tight because you want your needle to go through still. Gosh, why does it keep doing this? Too long of string. Thread. Okay, so you can tell this is 1 wrap, 3 strands. This is 2 wraps, and this is 3 wraps. So obviously this one is bigger than this one. Yeah? So let's go to 6 strands. So the reason I'm showing you this is because if you go to use this in your own embroidery, you might want to use French knots, and sometimes if you know what 1 wrap looks like or 3 wraps looks like with different sizes of threads, meaning different strands, you can fill in a space so much more quickly and easier if you choose the right one. So for example, if I wanted to fill in kind of this whole thing with French knots, I should probably do the biggest one because these ones would take ages unless I really wanted it to look like tiny little dots, like maybe on a raspberry or something, you know? So here we go, same thing again, 6 strands, 1 wrap, and you can see how big these knots get. Oh, I pulled it through. So there's 1 wrap, 6 strands. Next will be 2 wraps. Almost the same size as that, but you can tell that it is a bit bigger. And then the next one, 3 wraps. 1, 2, 3. Down, pull it. And there you go. So it's kind of, I mean, it's good for you to practice the French knots, maybe not on this if you don't want to, if you don't want to mess this one up, if you don't feel very confident. So sometimes it's nice to have a little hoop that you can just practice all your stitches on. And then you can kind of see what the 3 threads look like and what the 6 strands of the thread look like and all the different kind of knots. So that's kind of like the boring part of stitching sometimes, is that practice, and practice. And I'm going to use a little bit lighter yellow for this one, only because I have it here. And I'm going to use all 6 strands, and I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 little knots. So here we go. I'll zoom in again. Ooh. The sun is absolutely gone this morning. here we go. So you want to get right up in there, but not through the same knot that you went through. Yeah? And let's try 2. So sometimes if you're not sure how many wraps to do. So I already have my 6 strands. I know I'm going to do 6 strands, but you think, oh, do I do 1? Do I do 2? Do I do 3? How do I know what's going to look right? You can wrap it and then just don't commit. So what I mean is put it down a little bit. You can pull your string. Why do I keep calling it string? Pull your thread all the way down and then just kind of have a look. Is that going to be a good size? Should I do a little bit bigger? Do I want 3 smaller ones? Dunno. So I'm going to leave this one like this. Man, I really need to find a new needle. And I'm going to do another one here and tuck this one under as well. And I'll do one right on the top. Again, you could just do one French knot if you want. You could do just one wrap. You can make it just a small little baby on the top. I quite like the look of the 3 though. So that's it for that one. I am going to do a knot and then cut this so that you don't see a line. I do know that like the practicing part, it's not the most fun because you don't really get to like see anything when you're done. Do you know what I mean? You don't get to like have a finished product. You don't get to like say, oh, I made that. Oh, I made that. It's more just, hello, practice. But it is kind of nice sometimes because then you do get to practice on something that you know if you mess up, it won't matter. It's just a practice hoop. Keep getting the knot, I can feel it. There we go. And then you do one at the top. And we done. There we go. So that is it. Whoa, wobbly. That is it for today. That's all I've got. We are gonna go get coffee, me and my friend Joe, and then, I don't know, sometimes we go to Pondland, sometimes we walk around Kings Heath, I don't know. We'll just see what happens, see what we fancy. So yeah, I hope you have a great Wednesday. If you're doing the flowers and the leaves, then I'll see you tomorrow with the 3rd leaf. If you're just doing flowers, then I'll see you on Friday, and we'll do this big boy. So yeah, I hope you have a great Wednesday, and I will talk with you later. Bye.